Why does the hair world use RYB? Why don't we use CMY? And could you use it? So part one, we covered what primaries were, and then we covered what a system was. So let's dive in today. I put these primaries on a flat screen, and on the bottom, you're going to see these are actually the systems. They call them a gamut in the color world, not just the hair color world, the color world. They call them a gamut. A gamut is what's the range of color these three primaries can make. And this is what you actually can make with this set of primaries. So this yellow, red, and blue over here, this is the color range that these can make. Now, if I shift the red and make it more of a red violet, it's going to shift this gamut. Same thing with the CMY. This is the gamut or the range of colors that this yellow, magenta, and cyan can make. And you notice they're different shapes. So what's going on here? Well, let's look at CMY really fast, and then we'll jump over to RYB. So CMY, what you'll notice is it's wider. So what that's telling us is you're going to be able to make a wider range of colors. In CMY, the colors, when you mix them, simply because of the way that light absorbs and reflects off of these particular colors, you're going to be able to stay more vibrant for longer while you mix. Anytime you mix a color, you're going to lose vibrancy. CMY allows you to keep your vibrancy for longer. It also, depending on the level of your yellow, your cyan, and your magenta, you'll be able to stay lighter for longer. Now, however, when you start mixing in RYB, of course, every time you mix, you lose vibrancy because of the way light absorbs and reflects off of these colors. You lose vibrancy quicker. You also lose your lightness quicker. Now, if you look at the RYB, you'll notice that the golds and the reds, you actually get a nice rich range from the RYB. And then in the blue to the red, you notice how it indents. You're losing vibrancy in the violets and the purples. They do not stay vibrant in the RYB. And you'll also notice in the greens, you're going to lose the blue-green. It's going to lose vibrancy in that area. But if you look at CMY, it's the opposite. CMY, you have more vibrancy in that green arena and that the cyan to yellow area. But you also keep the vibrancy in the violets. But in the reds to golds, they are flatter. Interesting, right? So if this is the possible range that you can get with each set, each primary set, the next question is, what are you actually working with? What are you mixing? What are you trying or needing to show with what you're mixing, and what are you applying it to? Well, in our world, we mix with oxidative color, we mix with direct dyes, we use chemistry, and we put it on hair. Now, the oxidative dyes that we work with, typically they're mixed with something we call background, a brown or a gray. So that's what we're mixing with, colors that already are lower in chroma. Now, if we do have a color that is high in vibrancy or chroma, they tend to live in that rich area of the reds to coppers to red coppers to golds. We don't have a lot of vibrant colors in the greens, in oxidative, or in the violets. And even if we do, those violets are living at a deeper level. So that's where our oxidative dyes live. They really do live inside and cluster inside the color space. So we don't need a huge wide gamut. Now, what about direct dyes? Direct dyes, different story. When we work with direct dyes, we want to stay vibrant. We typically don't want to mute down or mute out and look natural. Now, every now and then you want to pull it in a little bit, but you can do that with either gamut, either set of primaries. You can mute down colors. Anytime you bring a color closer to the center, you're muting it down. So yeah, you can do that with either one. But CMY, if I were doing direct dye work, fashion colors on a daily basis, I would work with both, actually. I would work with both systems because it's going to guide me on creating the colors that stay vibrant, that stay light in level and depth for longer. So CMY would be my go-to. Most hairdressers are not working with fashion colors on a daily basis. We do have way more now than we used to, which is fantastic. There's so much range and variety in what we do. But the hair world's going to use RYB because it fits what most stylists are using on a daily basis. Now, what about hair? Where does hair live in the gamuts? Well, hair lives closer to the center, so it clusters close to something that's more muted down, very natural dull looking, unless you have a redhead or a light blonde. But even then, she's got some mutedness to her color. Now, when we lift it, this is where it lives. It lives closer to that rich red and gold and yellow, those yellow hues, especially when you're working with dark colors, especially those. They are going to give you more vibrancy when you're lifting through them, that is. But it takes a while for you to actually get there, right? So, when you're working with color, you're going to work mostly with RYB. If you know color, use whatever works best for you, mostly RYB.